Yo, Wrestling Hub, we need to talk about some reports, WWE plans that apparently changed behind the scenes because according to the reports, IYO SKY was originally expected to internationally to defeat internally to defeat Liv Morgan for the Women's World Championship at SummerSlam, and apparently that wasn't a brand new idea. The report planned and had reported been in place for a month. Think about it. For weeks, WWE may have been working towards IYO SKY becoming a Women's World Champion. But somewhere along the way, the plans changed, and that's where this story gets really interesting. Because the report originally says direction wasn't just about IYO SKY. Winning the championship, there were reports planning involving Liv Morgan, Stephanie Vaquer, Roxanne Perez as well. One report planned that called Stephanie Vaquer and Liv Morgan to enter the non-title program during the fall. There were also reports planning for Roxanne Perez to eventually lead the Judgment Day. But now those plans have apparently changed, and this is exactly why fans have to remember something. WWE plans are never guaranteed. A creative direction can exist for weeks and still get changed at the last minute. A match can be built around one person winning. Then somebody changes their mind. A different story becomes more important. An injury happens. A superstar momentum changes. Or WWE simply decides another direction is better. And that's potentially what happened here. Now let's talk about IYO SKY. If WWE originally had her winning the Women's World Championship, that tells you something about how highly she is viewed internally. IYO SKY is one of the most talented wrestlers on the WWE roster. Her athletic ability is ridiculous. Her in-ring style is completely different from Liv Morgan's. So IYO SKY becoming the champion would have created a very interesting chapter. But then you have Liv Morgan. Liv has already built herself into one of the biggest personalities in the women's division. So if WWE decided not to have her win, that could mean they see different directions for Liv's character. And then there's Stephanie Vaquer. If the original plan really was Stephanie Vaquer versus Liv Morgan in a non-title program later in the year, that would have been a major opportunity for Stephanie. And finally, Roxanne Perez. Her report exiting from the Judgment Day could have opened the door to an entirely different direction for her character. But if WWE changes their plans, we could be looking at completely different women's division, the one WWE originally envisioned. And that's honestly one of the most fascinating parts of wrestling. The fans only see what happens on television. Behind the scenes, there can be dozens of different ideas discussed. Some become reality, some get changed, some get completely scrapped, and some ideas come back months later. So even if IYO SKY didn't get the reported the title victory at SummerSlam, that doesn't necessarily mean WWE has abandoned the idea of her becoming champion. It could simply mean not yet. And if IYO SKY eventually becomes champion later, people are going to look back at these reports and say, wait a minute, wasn't this originally supposed to happen? That's why I'm watching this story very closely, because IYO SKY, Liv Morgan, Stephanie Vaquer, and Roxanne Perez could all be involved in some major storylines moving forward. And the biggest question is, what did WWE change? Was IYO SKY originally supposed to win? Why did the direction change? And where does Liv Morgan go from here? Let me know what you think. Should IYO SKY eventually become Women's World Champion? Or should WWE continue with Liv Morgan? Drop your thoughts below. Make sure you subscribe to Wrestling Hub, because we're covering every major WWE story, rumor, report, and storyline Wrestling Hub out.